Can I just make one comment? So we've
You
seen
can
this.
make as many comments as you want, Molly, please.
Excellent.
There are
So
no
I'm
limits to the comments on this podcast.
I'm
If
gonna
you couldn't tell by now.
I'm gonna post the picture. So they're in this war room, right? And it's just this giant, massive, cavernous hall, like I guess within a bubble of the ship. And you just see them at the desk making plans, but they're like 20 feet away from each other across the table. The table is like 50 feet long, and everybody has their own little like computer pod, like this half circle of computer screens that is below the level of the table. And so I was just thinking, like, first of all, that's like a giant waste of space, but also like you could just kind of be chilling and like watching anime during the big meeting if you wanted to. You could watch porn. It's just so weird. It's just such a weird use of the space. Like, can they even see each other as they're sitting down? Do they just see like their noses up? It just makes no sense.
The amount of table space that's there, like,
It's
it doesn't need
completely
to be there. No
unusable.
one can use it. It's unreachable.
There's no way you could ever put anything in the middle of that fucking table.
I would definitely be like, have played Office Shuffleboard there at least once a week.
That's what you'd have to do. You'd have to have a shuffleboard stick and just like pass things along the table. So you know how they can make those like frictionless surfaces, and you can just like maybe slide it and it just won't stop? Maybe that's what they would have to do. Like an air hockey table.
Right, because if you had a document,
Right.
there was no way that's making it across that table.
Yeah. Also, how do you clean it? How do you clean it?
Yeah.
Does the janitorial staff have just like a super long stick?
They climb on top of it, and you start at one end and you back up, right? So your feet don't ever leave footprints in the clean area.
What if you just have a Roomba that lives on top of the table?
What's the giant bubble on the ceiling?
A light,
It's
an alert system.
It's a light bulb. It's just a fucking enormous light bulb.
It's just like in the foreground of the shot. Like...
Nope. It's giant. It's floating above the table.
It's like going to like a yuppie restaurant in the city where it's just like a giant Edison bulb, and they're just like, we can charge like $20 for a hamburger here, right, guys?
They actually have this giant table at that yuppie restaurant, and like no one can confirm that they're going to sit together. You've got to sit at like cafeteria style around the table, and every 10 minutes the light turns on, and you just have to deal with it.
What if there are webcams in each little pocket, and then everyone's face just shows up on one of those screens?
There you
The
go.
guy in the L desk is actually like the editor who like puts who's actually talking. He makes the decision of which camera shot is being displayed.
That
Like-
makes sense, actually.
Yeah, it makes sense if they're all like in their rooms, like alone. There's no need for them to be at a table.
Well, you can't
Just have a
yell
normal table.
across. You can't
Well,
yell across a 50-foot table,
How
Matt.
would you- how
They're
would you
solving
hear?
problems. Problems, yes, that may not have needed to exist at all, because it's ridiculous to have a table this large that you then carve out semicircles for.
It's like a social distancing workspace, and they're just like, well, we still want the synergy from working in the same room, but like we have to follow like health requirements, so this is what we got.
Yes.
We can write this off, right, guys?